Alright guys, you're welcome back to this channel. Right now, to my left, which I don't know if it's gonna be alright, will be the electro-voice RE27 ND. To my right is the new one that just came into the market, and this is the Earthwork Icon Prohhhh. This is the Earthwork Icon Prohhhh. So I'm trying to compare both of these together just to be sure how they sound. Both of this mic is going directly to my Miss Pretty, and this require more gain, so I actually gained this up to 90% of my preamp. And on this one, so I'll probably say that I gained this around 40%, while this is around 90% gain. So for that being said, electro-voice is a dynamic microphone. Alright, so with what you see now, this dynamic, they require no phantom power. On the other hand, on my right, the Icon Prohhhh is a condenser microphone. Even though it looks like dynamic, but it's a condenser, which means your board or your audio device or audio interface should be able to produce 45 volts to power this mic before you can use it. Actually, either of the microphone that you are listening to will be on the screen. I'll put it on the screen which microphone you are listening to. Okay, right now, like I said, the Icon Prohhhh actually gain the frequency response is between 20 Hz to 30 kilohertz. So that's the range is right there. If you are like 5 inches away from this Icon Prohhhh, if you're like 5 inches away, you will get like the low cut with, you know, cutting around probably I think around 90 down to around 10 dB. That is where you will cut. But if you're a little bit far away, like 12 inches away, you will notice a significant drop in the low end, and that will probably cut. If you are 12 inches away, it will cut around I think from 400 down to 20 dB. That is how drastically the curve will come down like that. Okay, if you're 12 inches away, you lose more low end, but if you're close, you gain more low end. That is the shot on this one. It's a cardioid pattern, and it's not bad. It's a very unique mic. Everything is, you know, is shining. Its build quality is really good. But what we're doing today is to compare the two together and listen to how they both sound. The electro-voice frequency response is 45 to 20 kilohertz response. That's the frequency compared to this Icon Prohhhh, which is 20 to 30 kilohertz or 30,000 hertz. Okay, you have a lot of high end on this one. There's more range on the Icon Prohhhh compared to the electro-voice. So probably, like, you know, there's a 3 switch on the electro-voice. They have 3 switch on the electro-voice. Like I said, at the bottom right there, you have low end roll off, you have mid, and you have the high end roll off if you want to do that. So they have this one have 3 roll off that you can actually, you know, switch to your liking. But as at now, I leave this to flat just for you to see how it sounds when it's flat, and this is how it sounds when it's flat. So what is the difference? First thing we have to look at here is physical difference. Looking at the physical of the electro-voice, we can see it's really big. It's a very hefty mic, and it's built tough, just like the Icon Prohhhh also is built tough. Both of these microphones are tough, but the physical difference is just significant. This is a really hefty and big microphone compared to the size of this. So don't be fooled with the size of this mic. Also, there's some weight also to this mic. If you hold it, the mic weigh a little bit of, you know, the mic carry a little bit of weight. All right, so it's heavy a little bit, but I would have loved the mic to be a little bit hefty in size, you know, That's my personal preference. So, like I said, this is how the mic sound right now. You are listening to this mic directly, no processing, nothing. So we've been listening to the mic without any filter on it. So I'm going to put a pop filter on each of this mic, and you will see how they sound. So right now I have pop filter on the microphone. This is how they sound. This is the Icon Prohhhh. This is how it sound. This is the electro-voice. This is how it sound, getting close to electro-voice, or the way on top of it. This is how it sound. This is the Icon Prohhhh. Also, this is how it sound. Honestly, I still believe the Icon Prohhhh is kind of more bright. There's a bright to the mid-range of the Icon Prohhhh is a little bit bright. To some people, that could be a big deal, or to some people, it could be negative to them, depend on what you actually want. So, I believe the electro-voice already is kind of a little bit damp, so I don't think anyone will want to use. Depend on your depend on individual. Most people may not need to add any pop filter on the electro voice, even though when you get close to it, compared to the Icon Prohhhh, if you get close to it, you can pop a little bit. So for that reason, I think most people we want to get external pop filter on the Icon Prohhhh. So for today, this is what we're comparing: the electro-voice RE27 and the Earthwork Icon Prohhhh. This has been in the industry for a while. This is the new addition to the industry, and this is how they sound. This is how they sound on top, getting close. This is how it sound on top, getting close. So, what's my conclusion on this? I'm going to tell you these two microphones are really good, depend on your condition. But what I can tell you is that this is a very bright microphone. This is bright in its own, but it's not as bright as the Icon Prohhhh. So if you're using untreated room, or if you're using untreated environment, you can still get away with a lot of background noise if you're using the electro-voice 27ND. But you may not be able to get away with background noise if your room is not treated while using the Icon Prohhhh, because it's a condenser microphone. But if you have a treated room, you're going to enjoy the Icon Prohhhh. Or if you have a noise gate machine like the DBX, if you have the DBX, you may be able to tailor down those background noise. Signal to noise ratio on this is 79 dB. So you have to be aware of that if your environment is not treated, you may not be able to get away with background noise on the Icon Prohhhh. These are two good microphones and they get their job done very well. But you just have to understand one thing, that you don't just go out there and buy any microphone. You just have to look at your environment and do your research on which microphone that will work for your situation. Like I said, this mic is not that it's sensitive, but it's not as sensitive as the Icon Prohhhh. So you can still get away with a lot of background noise on the electro-voice RE27 ND. You may not be able to get away with background noise with the Icon Prohhhh if you are using untreated environment. But if you're in a studio that is treated, or if your environment is soundproof that is treated, or you are in a low noise environment, this mic is fantastic. I just like that it's clear, it's crisp. You can still get away just from right here and still get a good signal, clean signal from the Icon Prohhhh without room noise. That is fantastic. That is really good. But the best thing about the electro-voice is the proximity effect. You can get on it, you can get away. It's still going to maintain your the tone of your voice is still going to maintain that. That's one thing I like about electro-voice. If you're using this mic, you may have a little bit of noise, but you can get away with it if you have DBS26X, or if you have a good preamp that you don't have to crank all the way for your signal to noise ratio. Okay, which of this mic do you think sound better to you? The electro-voice RE27, the Earthwork Icon Prohhhh? Which of these mics sound better? So this is not just a comparison. This is to show you that they sound in a different way, and that does not necessarily mean either of these mics are bad. It means they are built or they are tuned for different things. All right. So guys, this is what it's going to be for today, and I believe you enjoyed this. If you learn one or two things, you love what I'm doing here, please subscribe to this channel, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and that's how it's going to be for today. Until next time, you're going to be seeing me with another video. Stay blessed, remain blessed. Bye bye guys.